Hey, best friends, I'm Claire.
I'm Yana.
Welcome to
May Biston's Book Club.
Book Club.
Book Club.
If you're new to us, first off, we promise to make you laugh.
Oh, I was going to say, why it took you so long?
That too. And secondly, we're a book club for non-readers because we summarize for you.
And because we know some folks can't read.
And for readers, because we know you like to read. We're working our way through Sociopath, a memoir by
Patric Gagne.
And it's actually really good.
Really good.
We are on the next set of pages. We'll give you a recap and then a summary of this week. But before we do that, Yana, what did you want to tell all of us?
So we were not able to interview our author about the Gilded Age. And instead we pivoted and brought you an episode still about smut. Because once you go book porno, you can't go back.
Once you lights out, you never lights in. That's bad. I'm so sorry,
you
everyone.
have to keep that for sure, just so everyone knows. But yeah, we hope you still enjoyed our episode last week with our ghost smut writer. And, you know, as they say, shit happens. So just go along with us and be cool, you guys.
Yeah, who wants to talk about the Gilded Age anyway? So, Sociopath, a memoir. Why don't you give us a recap of the last set of pages?
We meet Patric, who appears completely normal on the outside, but internally she is feeling really emotionally detached and without any guilt or empathy. And she starts to hear the word sociopath, and it starts to kind of resonate with her. And she's at a point now where she feels like she doesn't want to try and resist these urges that she has to do naughty things because there's just no point. Her mom's going to be mad at her whether she tells the truth or she doesn't. So might as well just give into that need.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to stop trying to be something I'm not just because my mom's upset.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mom.
Fuck you, Mom.
Just kidding,
Mom.
We love you.
So sorry.
I bet you she like sat up for a second and was like, what?
Yeah.
They said fuck you for once?
You getting ready in the morning, bitch?
Everyone,
listen to us.
Make sure you tell your mom fuck you one time today. Just kidding. Don't do that.
But do it, maybe.
Depends on who your mom is, eh?
Yeah. Well, let's get into these next 50-ish pages.
Yeah, I actually really liked these pages. There's a specific spot I'm locked in on, but I liked a lot of it, but there's one thing that like warmed my dark heart.
Oh,
I know.
Your heart's beautiful.
Your heart's more beautiful.
Thank you. It is.
Thank you.
I agree.
All right. So in the previous set of pages, Patric's mom sort of left the father. Not sort of. She did. And she took Patric and her sister, Harlow, to live in Florida. But now the mom has moved them into a permanent house on the beach, which is pretty bitchin' if you ask me.
Pretty bitchin'.
And Patric's got her own room. It's got a massive window. She calls it her private entrance because naturally she starts using it to sneak in and out of the house.
Honestly, I'm surprised her mom gave her that bedroom.
She actually does a lot of things in these set of pages where I'm like, wow.
But also, like, did the mom give up on trying to, like,
Yeah, she
control
probably
it?
was like, whatever, I can't do this. So while she's unpacking her room, Patric realizes that she left her favorite locket behind. We haven't learned much about this locket except that she really loves it. And I'm sure there's going to be more to it. But she has a secret spot in the old house. And that's what the locket is. So she goes to her mom and she's like, hey, I really need to get my locket. And the mom was like, hey, sorry, like, as the rules say, the rules, once they move in and we move out, whatever was left behind, they own now. And Patric was like, rules? Who are they and who
Honestly,
are the rules?
I'm kind of on her side with this because I feel like, yes, while that is the law, I feel like if that was my kid, I would just go and I'd be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, totally okay. Like, if this is a big deal and you won't do it. But, like, my child forgot this.
Totally.
Like, what person would be like, no?
I think her mom's just, like, probably overworked and everything's too much. And But the important part is Patric's like, I'm not just going to fall into, like, society's structure of rules. So she decides that she's going to walk back to her old house, which isn't too far, but she walks. And she breaks in through a window that she obviously used in the past. And she goes into her old room and she sees a little girl there playing with her toys.
I'm gonna shit my pants. Like, fully, like, giant load in my pants.
Me too. The little girl's kind of just startled, but she seems okay.
I guess it's less scary when it's another kid breaking in than, like, a scary man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bear or little kid?
But Patric, she says she's sort of like detached from her emotions. She also is really good at recognizing when someone else is having a big emotional response. And she knows how to sort of like charm them with things that she's seen other people do. So she uses her sister Harlow a lot. She'll put her hand on her chest and be like, oh, like, I'm not here to cause any harm. I just left my locket behind. And then the little girl's obviously sort of soothed and is like, no problem, go get it. And so she does. And then she literally walks out the front door. She doesn't even exit through her secret spot anymore. But in this moment, she realizes that she didn't do this because she was trying to relieve the internal pressure she talks about that builds up and she needs to find a release. But she realizes that she did it because she just wanted to. And sure, it helped with the pressure buildup, but she just actually wanted to do it. So she's like, hey, I have this dark side of me, and that's okay. And I just need to figure out how to sort of, quote unquote, tame this side of me, or like, what does she say? Make a treaty with herself, because she knows that this is just how she is. It's like a lot of emotional intelligence for, what is she, a teenager at this point? I think
she's like a preteen or something.
Crazy. Yeah. So she starts exploring ways to flex rules without hurting people and also doing things that won't get her in too much trouble. So one of the main things she starts doing is sneaking out of her bedroom window, and she starts following people in her neighborhood.
Like pedestrians.
Yeah. She's like a full-on little stalker child.
But like in a nightgown.
Yes. Without shoes.
Like a ghost.
I have
so scared. There's like a still child in a nightgown.
Patric acknowledges this, like, I have a quote here. So she says, because this method of rule breaking was boundaried, I took it to mean that I was finally learning how to maintain discipline, and I was going to do it all on my own. That I was essentially stalking people like a lo-fi lunatic never factored into my decision making. It sounds like that occurred to her later in life, but at the time she was like, this is just something that's not hurting me or anyone. Right. So, and it relieves this pressure.
She's so aware of not actually causing pain to people.
And that leads me into my next point. She decides she needs to start a rule book. Like, she literally writes rule number 1, no hurting anybody. I have another quote. Acts of violence, however effective at reducing the pressure, attracted a great deal of attention and increased my odds of getting caught. I need to find something less extreme, I thought. So this goes into her, like, even though it gives her, like, pure euphoria, like when she stabbed the little girl in the previous set of pages, she was like, that was a immediate, quick release of this pressure. It felt absolutely incredible, but that's a high risk activity for her, like, to get caught. So that's her number 1 rule in her book so far. Then she also starts frequently skipping school. She says school is corrupt anyway. And her mom's a realtor now, so she'll use like the punch code to get the keys, and she'll just go into these homes and just hang out. And she says that she's, quote, drunk with happiness, being totally alone and unfindable, which, relatable. Yeah. Yeah, she's got all these sort of things that aren't ideal to be doing, but they don't hurt anyone, and it helps her relieve her pressure.
She also talked about how some of the needing to not do something hurtful is also because it would be like a gateway into doing more and more hurtful things. Like, she's afraid of becoming actually dangerous.
She's very aware, which is good, probably.
We could all be a little bit like Patric.
Yeah. But now she's off to summer camp. She didn't want to go. Her mom forces her.
Relatable. Love you, Mom.
Fuck you, Mom.
Fuck you.
While everyone is doing art at the camp, Patric has become obsessed with this rumor that there's secret tunnels under the building. And she is on a mission to find these tunnels. She's locked on this. And this is when she meets her first romantic connection.
David.
Relatable. Well, yours was not David, your first love connection.
Not my first love.
Yeah.
Just a love.
Fair.
Well, whatever.
Fuck you, Mom.
Fuck you, David.
He walks into the camp office and she says she's momentarily speechless. She's found someone attractive for the first time, it seems. And to impress him, she steals the blueprints while the camp counselor's not watching, and she stuffs them in her bag. And the counselor's like, hey, Patrick, will you show David around the campus? And she's like, absolutely no problem, because I was going to go look for these tunnels anyway.
Yeah. Now I have permission.
Exactly. So David becomes like very intrigued with her. Obviously, he saw her steal the blueprints and he learns all about her plan. And the two basically become inseparable while they hunt for these tunnels. I actually love it so much.
I didn't love the age difference at that age.
What was she, 14 and he was 17?
He was almost 18, yeah.
Well,
you're like middle school, high school.
All right.
I didn't love
Why
it.
you gotta ruin my love story? God.
Because all love stories get ruined.
Which leads us into Patric's feelings on love. She talks about Wuthering Heights, and she thinks it's ridiculous. And the main character, Kathy, is a quote-unquote idiot and a quote-unquote Heather for being so dramatic. What does that mean? What's a Heather? I was like, is this like a Karen thing that I don't know about?
But in some contexts, it can also be interpreted negatively as someone basic or mediocre, despite their popularity, often implying a lack of depth or uniqueness.
That sounds like what...
Snaps.
Okay.
That's my snaps.
That seems to be what Patrick is saying about Wuthering Heights. Which, I mean, listen, I'm not going to get into Wuthering Heights, but anyway. So she basically falls in love with David, and he does the same, and they end up in a relationship, like boyfriend-girlfriend kind of thing. Boyfriend-girlfriends. And it's effortless, she says. And it's sort of the romance that works for Patrick, not the Wuthering Heights romance. She says that David keeps her rooted in place. She tells him everything, including scary and maybe trigger warning. While she's on a very boring vacation, she chokes a cat because her pressure built up too much, and there's literally nothing to do where she was, and so that was her pressure release. But she tells him everything, and he doesn't judge her. He just loves her back, which I thought was really sweet, minus the cat choking. Don't choke animals or people.
But animals first.
So the two find the tunnels, and it's like incredibly exciting for them. And Patrick, she likes to go hang out down there often by herself.
And she has no fear, remember?
Yep. She loves the solitude. She says she feels like a quote-unquote ghost lurking and eavesdropping on people's conversations because she's below them now, right? In the tunnels.
She's nosy just like me.
She really is. But now summer camp is over. It's like the last day. And we learn that David lives kind of far. And he's going to college soon. And she's going to start
to high school.
Yeah. And I don't know, it ends kind of with him being like, I'll see you later. She doesn't really say anything else about David in the next chapters, but...
He just kind of broke up with her.
I kind of hope they find each other again. He's the only one who accepted her.
Well, she's only 14. She still has a whole life ahead of her.
But then it'll be age appropriate if they reconnect.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll just have to keep reading. Keep on reading.
So time passes and Patrick's in college now. She moves to LA. That's where her father lives, and she's attending UCLA. And while everyone's super stressed out in college, crying in bathrooms, freaking out over deadlines, Patrick's like, fine. She realizes that her lack of panic is actually a superpower because she doesn't get emotionally flooded. She can handle toxicity. Am I saying that right? Toxicity.
Her cortisol levels are probably incredible.
She probably has wonderful blood pressure.
Yeah. No, I was kind of envious. I was like, God, I would love to be that.
There's a lot of things.
Unstressed.
Yeah, and the way her brain works, I'm like, I guess there's pros and cons to both ways of life, right? But, things don't really bother her much. But even though she considers it a superpower in a sense, she is getting frustrated by how the world is describing people like her. She knows she isn't a serial killer, in the movies, but she knows she's not quote unquote normal. So one day in her college course, her professor is talking about sociopaths. Here's a quote for you. Sociopathy is a disorder characterized by a disinclination to empathize with others. Psychologically speaking, sociopaths aren't well versed in compassion. They don't experience guilt like everyone else. They don't process emotion like everyone else. They don't feel like everyone else. And it is that lack of feeling, many researchers believe, that causes them to behave aggressively and destructively. The sociopath's subconscious desire to feel is what forces him to act out. So Patrick is like, holy shit, that's everything about me that could ever be. And it explains this sort of pressure buildup that she's been struggling with her life. And it's an act out to fill a void. So this ends up being like a huge turning point for her. And she starts to theorize that sociopathy is a spectrum, like we talked about earlier. And she's like, hey, can there be good sociopaths? And can you have a diagnosis but still be functional, a non-harmful member of society? And while she's continuing to investigate sociopathy, she does need to continue to figure out how to relieve her pressure in non-harmful ways. And she discovers a new way at a frat party. So a drunk guy gives her his keys. He thinks she's someone he knows and is like, hey, you said you'd go get me cigarettes. And she's like, no problem. So she takes the keys and she learns that this is a new pressure reliever for her. And then it becomes like a thing that she needs to keep doing. So she makes it a point to go to frat parties, find a very drunk man, and convince them to give her
It's incredible.
keys. I agree. And then she has like backup plans where like she buys them snacks and be like, hey, I got your snacks. And they're like, what? And she's like, bye, love you.
Yeah.
And just here's your car and here's your keys and here's your snacks.
Yeah, and if she gets caught, I mean, like...
Yeah, what are they going to say?
Well, I mean, it's great. She's like, no, he literally gave me his keys. I was at this party. He's hammered. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Here is the snack or the cigarette that
You wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Why did it take you like 3 hours to do it in the middle of the night? That's a different question, but...
Should she...
He also, the first guy just like gave his wallet to her too.
Oh,
she just
right,
like chose a credit card out of it to just go buy herself some stuff too. Nothing harmful. She got like Starburst.
Yeah, obviously you shouldn't like strive to manipulate people, but
I will.
This is like one of those things on her list that's like not hurting me, not hurting others, but it's a pressure reliever.
Yeah.
So is it exactly the perfect moral compass? Probably not.
I mean, it didn't sound like she was breaking laws with the car.
No,
she only spent the money on like Starburst and the thing that the person wanted. She didn't go like on a major shopping spree.
Sure. Gas is really expensive though, but who cares? Yeah. So she goes on these night cruises in other people's cars, but this often keeps her from returning to the dorm. She doesn't return until past curfew. And this is starting to be a problem because... First off, she's not been caught. She has like a sneaky way of getting back into the dormitory. But she
Dormitory?
The dormitory. At university.
Mr. Porter.
Yes. And the one person who does know is her roommate, though. She keeps waking her up because she's a light sleeper. And her name's Kimmy. And it sounds like the way this chapter ends, like Kimmy's kind of had enough and she's going to quote unquote request a meeting. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
But she might get in trouble. I thought it was like with what are those people who monitor the halls? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, I don't think my dorm had a curfew. Did yours?
I didn't get to stay in the dorms because mom and dad.
Fuck you, mom.
Fuck you, mom and dad.
Fuck you, dad. Fuck the whole family.
I never had to do that.
Except for you, sister. Then the other thing the roommate piece is like, I mean, I'm a light sleeper too, but you're in a dorm, you know?
Yeah, but if your person's out past curfew, like, that is fucking annoying.
It is annoying, but, like, who's to say the people upstairs can't hang out and be loud post-curfew? You know, I just feel like
Sounds
either
like
get
she's
a single...
sneaking in, like,
I know.
Really?
It would be annoying. I would be
leaving.
annoyed as well as the roommate, but I don't know that I don't know. Maybe I would.
Well, I don't know if this ends up being important, but she does say her roommate is, like, non-English speaking. She has a translator device, so maybe she can't, like, communicate with her concerns as easily. I don't know. Maybe nothing will come of it, so who cares, right?
I don't care.
I don't care. That's where these set of pages end.
Love.
So, I love you.
I love you and your long ass hair.
So, I thought we would talk about this definition of sociopath that the professor gave us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. She's going to a psych class and she's like super into it because, I mean, it's like all about her.
Yeah, she's like, holy shit, this is me for sure.
Yeah. And she's learning about sociopaths in a very different way than she initially learned it in the prison.
Yes, it's like totally different. And there's like more of a medical sort of approach to it than just like, you're crazy Ted Bundy and you're going to go kill people.
More like a compassionate educational piece from it too. And it's very interesting for her. As it would be for any of us.
Yeah. And she,
if they had a class about being perfect and beautiful,
it would be you.
Would have to take it because you would feel seen there.
Oh, you would, and you would teach it. We're so annoying. But the sociopath part of this, it totally explains her pressure buildup. I wonder what that's like. I think she says it's in her chest or in her head. It feels like she has to do something to relieve it. Maybe like a headache building or something. I don't know. It's scary that, like, I don't experience pressure buildup like that. Okay, you don't either. So, like, there's people out there who do experience it. And then, like, what do they do? You know, it sounds like Patric took the happy path where she was like, I'm going to make a treaty with it. And she has her book. But it just makes me wonder, like, what do other people do?
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder if it feels like an itch where you have to scratch that itch, you know?
I think it does because if you think about Trigger, again, the cat, it sounds like that was an uncontrollable moment where
she feels it mentally and physically.
Yeah, the only
poor cat
thing
was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I know. Thankfully, she didn't kill it. She lets go and it runs away.
But it's even like scratching her and she doesn't care.
But that's scary, right? It's like you could get to such a buildup that you do something really bad like that. And I think that's what she tells David too, is that she knows it was really bad.
Yeah.
And she puts that in like the really bad category, like stabbing the kid with the pencil, and it breaks her number one rule. Speaking of her number one rule,
you're my number one girl.
You didn't watch Dexter, did you?
No. I watched most, I think, of the first season back in college, which was only like a couple years ago because I'm very young and beautiful.
Absolutely. Do you remember, this made me think of Dexter. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that because he's like a serial killer in the show. But his dad teaches him a code of conduct. And that's the people he's allowed to kill. And it reminded me of like, she's coming up with a framework for her. Obviously nothing like Dexter's, where it's like, I can't do these bad things because these bad things are actually really bad. I could get in a lot of trouble. She also talks about, though, how like if maybe prison would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of her.
Also, I think if anyone could escape prison, it's her.
That's true. I don't know if she would care if she was in there. The only thing that makes me nervous about her going to prison, I don't think she does, but what if she can't relieve pressure?
Yeah, like, that's what I was thinking too.
She would have to like get in an inmate fight to maybe relieve pressure.
Yeah.
Like every day. I don't know. What do you think of her code of conduct though? Like obviously rule number one is thou shalt not hurt people.
But thou shalt honor thy mother and father. Except you guys bitches.
But her framework that she's coming up with. What do you make of that, Yana? You literary snatch attack?
I agree with it. I support it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like she's still at this spot where she's just grasping at straws, right? To like figure out who she is and how to still fit into society while taking care of her own needs. I don't know. Like, I just feel like I support it.
I do too. I mean, the thing she's doing...
treaties are meant to be respected.
I think rules are meant to be broken.
Oh.
Just kidding. Not all rules, but the rules she's breaking seem harmless enough.
They are harmless.
Right?
She's when you really think about it, they're harmless.
She's hanging out in empty homes that her mom was selling. She does her night cruises when she gets the keys from the frat boys. She found the tunnels and she stays in them. The only thing was like the cat.
The cat was rough. Stabbing a girl with a pencil.
That's not good.
Not great.
Yeah. She's learning though. But she also talks about normalizing mental disorders.
Yep.
So I have another quote. Specifically, the various symptoms of mental disorders is essential to counteracting the stigma associated with those symptoms and replacing it with knowledge, understanding, and eventually acceptance. which is what we were talking about last time. How do you identify that your child is a sociopath? And then I feel like there's probably like behavioral therapy or things that...
Yeah, I don't know if there's any sort of treatment. I think it's more of just like, I think a therapist would do exactly what she's doing, which is coming up with these like ways to control yourself. But when was this? What year was this?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. April 2nd, 2024. It says that's the day it was published.
Yeah, but when was she a child?
I don't know. We'd have to know her age.
We never ask a lady's age. She was born mid to late 70s, depending on what her age actually is.
That makes sense that there would not be a lot of resources or knowledge on this. But I wonder, like, today... It makes me nervous that you're just left to figure it out on your own. You know, like, thankfully, Patric was like, hey, rule number 1, don't hurt people. But maybe someone doesn't realize that they should make a framework or something.
Well,
you know?
I mean, I think some people also, like, she cares about not hurting people. She doesn't care a lot about other things, but she doesn't care.
Does she not care, though? I feel like she doesn't really care, but she just knows it's really bad and it could get her in a lot of trouble. But she also kind of doesn't care about that either.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's people who thrive on hurting people.
Yeah, she doesn't.
And hurting animals.
Well, it seems like she maybe could have gone that way if she decided that. Yeah. She like actively decided that even though it felt like euphoria, she somehow decided that it was really bad. I guess I don't quite understand how she got there still, to be honest.
Well, it might just be the relationship she had with her mom where like they talked about emotions, and I think her mom tried to get through to her of like what's right and wrong in the world.
Yeah, she said she was her moral compass.
Yeah. You're my moral compass.
You're my... So much love today.
You are my compass.
So much. Speaking of love. So aside from the age... Oh. Really?
Yeah. I just hate Matt.
Really?
I don't think he did anything wrong. I like the moment he came in, I was like, not a boy.
Okay, I get it. But she's 14, he's 17. Yeah, okay, it's like 3. I can do math.
I feel like you could have done that without counting on your fingers.
Maybe she's counting my toes, too. Like, that's not that big of an age gap.
No.
It doesn't sound like he was, like, predatory.
No,
like,
I don't think so either. I mean, I do feel like I agreed with her mom of, you know, like, the boy driving her home.
Give him a ride.
No, because, I mean, I feel like a 3-year age difference is nothing when you're, like, 30 and 33. But,
when you're 14.
You know, when you're 10 and 13 or, like... It's different, especially once you're in that high school time. An 18-year-old and a 15-year-old is very different.
I mean, yes.
Like, you wouldn't let a 19-year-old date a 16-year-old.
No, I feel like it's not as, I don't know, I feel like the whole relationship doesn't come down to, like, numbers.
No, I don't think, no, it's not. I mean,
I know that's a concern. Like, I remember when I read that part, I was like, David.
Yeah.
You know, but... I was happy for her that she finally met someone who just accepted her and was non-judgmental. He was smart. He showed her music. Like, he didn't seem like a fucking asshole.
No, he didn't.
He could be. I don't know.
But I also just feel like the way he kind of broke it off, she's too naive and inexperienced, young, and also just in terms of how she sees the world. Like, she isn't prepared to understand that. Like,
prepared to understand what? Why he ended it with her? But that's okay, because she's 14.
Oh, yeah, no, but...
I'm happy he had the emotional maturity to be like, I'm going to be 18. I'm going to college. I can't date a 14-year-old.
I just wish that it wasn't 5 minutes before your mom picks you up. Like, where there was no conversation about this leading up to it. But they're young, so...
Yeah, he probably had an emotional response, and she was like, what's that?
Yeah.
I loved their adventure, though, of finding the tunnels and the whole journey they went through, and then they finally found it. And I don't know. I
just don't like Joy.
I was like, this is the kind of, you know, minus the age gap. I like romance stories like this. Like, I'm not the Wuthering Heights person or, you know, other books. I'm not going to name.
It's either Wuthering Heights or other books.
I was going to say Just for the Summer, but we hate on it so much that I didn't want to be a dick.
You can do it just for today.
You're so annoying. I thought it was really sweet. It didn't warm your heart at all.
I think I have problems.
Oh my God, I thought it was really cute. I was like, man, I hope that David comes back. I hope it's David that she marries.
Here's the thing. I think right now I'm feeling a little bit like she must feel sometimes, where it's like, I know I'm supposed to feel that emotion, but I can't.
You're so disconnected from dating.
Absolutely. I'm like, I wish I saw it that way.
Wow, I can't believe I did, because I feel like I'm kind of a bigger dick than you are when it comes to dating.
I restarted therapy.
I stopped therapy.
Only one of us can be in therapy at a time.
I'm going to find a new therapist, though.
Oh,
I need to find a new therapist.
I'm really into my new one.
What's your food rating for these set of 50 pages?
I was just thinking about this in the last 5 minutes. After I said that like itchy feeling, food that came to mind is dun, 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 a pineapple.
Because it makes you itch?
It makes me itch, but it's also so sweet inside.
Oh, and hard on the outside. Spiky.
With a really solid crust.
And center. You're not supposed to eat the center.
But, there's this sweetness to her. Like, she's very self-aware. As self-aware as she possibly can be at this point in her life. But she makes me itch.
She makes me nervous, but there's things where I'm like, I wish I didn't give a fuck about that,
Yeah, she kind of keeps me on the edge of my seat a little bit, because I'm like, is she going to mess up and do something bad? But anyway, What about you? What's your food rating?
I was liking the romance in a practical way.
I don't judge you.
So it reminded me of the heart chocolate boxes you get, and then you throw the key away, and you don't know what you're going to get.
Yes.
And it's
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Some of them are good, and some of them are really bad. But it's a surprise. And it's kind of fun and it's not. And there's a little bit of romance in that.
You know what? I like that. Good job, Claire. God, you're perfect. You're literally perfection. I can't even handle it.
I learn from the best.
Oh, thank you. Are you reading anything fun and special?
I finished Nevessa Allen's Caught Up.
I'm still waiting at the library.
Do you want me to tell you how I feel about it, or should I shut up so you can get through it?
I'm going to forget by the time the book actually comes out in the library. I'll forget what you said.
You remember our smut ghostwriter we had on the podcast?
Oh, yes.
Hopefully you remember her. Bree said that she liked it better than Lights Out. I disagree. I know, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm allowed to have my own feelings.
It's fine. We'll never talk to Brie again.
I really didn't like it very much, actually.
Did you do book or audio?
I did the audiobook because everyone was up my butt about it. They were like...
With the mozzarella stick?
With the mozzarella sticks and all. Knives, mozzarella sticks. I actually disliked it so much that I was like, I don't know if I actually want to read her new book that's coming out on the 31st. But
you're like a little upset.
I was really annoyed. Like, I was driving, listening to it on my audio, and I was like, shut up. Like, I caught myself like talking to them because, we're all on the spectrum in our own ways. Am I allowed to say that? Should I take it out?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I honestly think I would have liked it better if I read it. But anyway, I decided I'm gonna rewind.
She's literally physically rewinding right now. Yep.
And I'm going to go back to Blood and Ash series that I gave up on. But I don't have to read it, Yana. I can listen to it. That's what this experience taught me.
Yes.
I mean, why give up? I read the first 2 books. I'm like 400 pages into the 3rd book. Like, why give up now? And I kind of want to know the ending. So I'm going to go there. Anyway, what are you reading?
Well, I started my new book, Strangers.
Oh, yeah. That's another memoir, right?
Yes. It's a memoir of a woman's marriage and divorce.
The sadness.
It's a little triggering, just from my own past experiences.
Maybe that's why you couldn't get into the romance in this book.
Oh, my God.
I know, it's all connected.
You're incredible.
We're so connected.
Oh my God. I'm going to call my therapist and cancel on her because I have everything I need right here.
I'm a doctor now. You're welcome.
Yeah, there's just a few things. The story has a lot of similarities to some things that I myself have been through. And so it's a little triggering.
It's okay.
I went into it kind of knowing that it was going to be triggering because a wonderful friend of mine, you know who you are, warned me as she started to read the book. She texted me.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
It's a very good friend. Love you so much.
It's a very good friend.
Very, very good friend.
That's how you talk to your dog.
So, no, I was very grateful for that because I knew very quickly exactly why she texted me that trigger warning. It's very well written. I definitely want to keep reading, but I'm also very cautious. I love reading memoirs. It's kind of it's my thing. It's my thing, Claire.
Oh my God. Don't. Your face, you're so annoying. It's nothing.
But I have a love-hate relationship with it. I will definitely finish it, but I have to read it in bits and pieces.
Okay. You got this.
And my therapist will be hearing about this. It's actually, it might be something that ends up helping at the end.
Your new therapist is like, fuck this bitch.
I know.
I actually don't have room for any new patients. Sorry.
Like, so I brought you all these quotes and I'd like to go through them one by one.
That's funny.
Yep.
Do you have any best friend conversation you want to have?
I would love to have some best friend conversations. Question 1 for you.
Okay.
How did you get so perfect?
By hanging around you.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Thank you. Question 2.
Okay.
What do you do to be so physically fit?
I run a lot and I do weights. Here's actually my fitness tip if anybody wants this. Not that you need fitness. If you want it, you can have it. This works so well. You know this trick. Pick a show that you want to watch, and you can only watch it while you're working out.
Yeah. See, that hasn't worked for me.
That's because you cheat and you watch it when you're not working out.
Take that little finger and put it down.
Put it up your butt with the mozzarella stick.
No, because I will do that for a while, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm a fucking adult with free will, and I don't need to make... That's a rule I made up in my head.
It's controlled discipline.
I don't do that.
Okay, well, for those of you who want to have controlled discipline, pick the show you can't watch until you're working out. It's very good motivation to work out because you want to know what happens next, and you can't know unless you're working out.
If I was Patrick, that cat would be dead.
Also, we keep talking about mozzarella sticks up your butt, and I just realized
it's just something we like.
Yeah, we just do that to each other as best friends.
Yeah, we'll post a video about it later.
If you ever listen to Lights Out, the last season, that's what we're referring to. We had a whole joke about that. So we don't just like put mozzarella sticks up our butts.
Speak for yourself. Don't knock until you try it.
I like to go to Chili's and get the viral ones and stick them up my ass.
Spicy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway. Friends, thank you for helping us grow the podcast. We appreciate you. We can't be here without you. So please continue to share us with your friends and family and start little book clubs with the book we're reading. If you have any notes or thoughts, you can always Gmail them to us at
mybffbookclub@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Good idea.
And maybe we'll read some of those on the podcast.
Maybe. You'll have to listen and see.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Maybe we won't.
Follow us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms.
Even if it's YouTube.
Which we found out is a very active channel.
Yeah.
So thank
Good
you.
for you guys. Thank you,
Thank
YouTubers.
you for being a part of us.
Welcome. Part of me, part of you. Part of all of us.
And after you hit that follow button, make sure you also then tap that 5-star. Like, you also take drunk people's keys, go on joyrides, get chips and Starburst.
And then tap their credit card.
And then you give it back because that's the good thing to do.
Good job.
So make sure you circle back.
Yeah.
Circle back.
Circle back next year.
And if nothing else, friends, we just love to read.
So much.
That's why we started this podcast. We love to read books and talk stories.
And Claire made me.
Just be assholes together. So,
which we were doing before anyway, but this time we have a platform.
Reading's actually really good for you, though. So remember.
Or don't, because some of us have memory issues.
Remember.
Oh, sorry. I was like, wait, what? I'm so sorry.
You really didn't realize
I really didn't. Oh my God, I need help. Keep on reading, everyone. I'm so sorry. It's fuck you, mom.